How difficult a language is to learn is often a matter of perspective. For example, a Dutch speaker trying to learn German will have a much easier time than, say, a Mandarin speaker, because Dutch and German are closely related languages and Mandarin and German are not. So get ready to find out about the 5 most difficult languages in the world to learn.
Amikor így kérdezik, hogy akkor én mégis hol és honnan és hogyan, és mondom, hogy Pristina, akkor az első kérdés az, hogy az hol van.
Hungarian stands as several odd men out in Europe, alongside Finnish and Estonian, as belonging to a language family other than that of the majority of European languages. Most European languages belong to a family called Indo-European, but Hungarian belongs to a family called Finno-Ugric. What makes Hungarian incredibly difficult to learn for, say, a German or English speaker is the combination of incredibly alien vocabulary combined with an insanely difficult grammar. For example, German and English have many words in common with each other, such as finger and Finger, beer and Bier, and wolf and Wolf. But if you line up those same words with Hungarian, you can see where the difficulty comes in. Finger and Ui, beer and Sör, and wolf and Farkas. They are completely different, making it a true challenge to learn.
冇你熟悉嘅人喺身邊嘅話咧，咁對於我嚟講，呢個地方就算係你已經 settle 咗喺度嘅話，都係冇歸屬感嘅。
There really is no such thing as Chinese. Rather, what is normally called Chinese or Chinese dialects are in fact different languages. Mandarin is the official language of China, but there are others, most prominently the Cantonese language, which is spoken in southern China as well as Hong Kong and Macau. Mandarin has 4 different tones, each of which conveys a different meaning and can be difficult enough to get right for a foreigner, but Cantonese has 6 tones. Additionally, the real difficulty in learning Chinese is always the reading and writing system, because the language has no alphabet. Instead, it uses an archaic writing system based on what are called ideograms. Ideograms are graphic symbols that convey meaning, and the Chinese ones were originally based on representation of things from the real world. Over time, the relationship between the symbols and what they represented was lost, but the complexity and the number of the characters grew. It takes years and years, even as a Chinese person, to learn enough of the characters to be literate. Compare that to the Korean alphabet, Hangul, which can be learnt in a few hours, and you get an idea of how difficult it can be to acquire even basic literacy. Given this, the Chinese writing system was reformed in the 20th century in mainland China into what is called simplified characters. But in Hong Kong, they kept the even more complex traditional ones, which, when combined with the greater number of tones, makes Hong Kong Cantonese one of the most difficult languages in the world to learn.
Ngenye imini yacinga yathi namhlanje ndizohamba ndiyothengisa. Xa ndibuya ndizohamba ndiye edolophini ndiyozithengela izihlangu ezintle.
Xhosa is a language that belongs to the African family of languages called Bantu and is one of the official languages of South Africa. In addition to a difficult grammar and vocabulary foreign to native speakers of English, it is one of the infamous clicking sound languages that requires unique precision in order to pronounce correctly. The language has a total of 18 clicks that are very hard for non-natives to learn. So if you decide to pick up Xhosa, all we can say is, good luck, you're going to need it. Navajo is an American Indian language that has had an unusual role in history due to its isolation as a language and small number of speakers. During World War II, a man named Philip Johnston suggested the introduction of so-called Navajo code talkers in order to preserve the secrecy of information and confuse the enemy. He was fortunate to have grown up as the son of a missionary on a reservation and thus spoke it fluently, but he also realized that almost no one spoke it and those who tried usually failed. Instead of distinguishing tense, which refers to when something happened, as we do in English, Navajo instead uses something called aspect, which stresses the way in which something is done instead of when it was done. These have no real correspondence in English, but have classifications, such as transitional, which involves an action involving transition from one status or form to another, momentaneous, which involves an action that takes place at a specific point in time, and many others. You can see why Navajo would be hell to learn, and why the Navajo code talkers were able to outwit the Japanese at every turn.
Ili niallunga kailallisut ukioataso ili niapunga neli ullunga Luciano siami.
If you thought Navajo would be hard to learn, then Greenlandic is just off the charts. It's one of the Eskimo Aleut languages spoken by the Inuit of Greenland, and its incredibly strange and difficult grammar make it the most difficult language to learn. Besides being unrelated to anything Western or Eastern people are familiar with, it is the grammar that is the real killer. Most languages have distinct parts for subjects, objects, and verbs, but in Greenlandic, the verb itself contains virtually all information of the things conveyed in the sentence, including the subject and object, making the language conceptually very different from anything you might have encountered in the language learning classroom. For more top lists just like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out our other lists, and we'll see you all next time.